Okay, Cashew, I would not normally allow to be on my knee, but we want to have a little bit of dog in this video, so it's not just me. So I asked if Cashew nudges her guardians, kind of like she is now. She's sticking her nose underneath. Now she's licking a little bit. I have the treat in this hand. She's trying to get me to do it, but a lot of times a dog will stick its nose underneath your arm and nudge you and tell you, pet me, pay attention to me. Now, if the dog does that and I pet the dog, then I'm telling the dog, yes, you're the boss of me because you tell me what to do and I do it. After a while, that leads the dog to think, I'm not just the same authority as the humans, I have more authority than humans. So I'm responsible for the humans. And that can create some of the stress and some of the triggers that are causing separation anxiety. So next time that Cashew comes up and nudges you, instead of petting her, what I would do is give her a counter order. Sit. As soon as she sits, then I would pet her under her chin. Now you can pet a dog wherever you want, but when a dog is proud about what it's done, its nose is parallel to the ground or tilted upward. So if I pet a dog like this, I facilitate that nose up orientation, which I want the dog to feel good about doing the things that we want. I call these desired behaviors. So Cashew, sit. Now I'm just saying the command word. I'm not saying, oh Cashew, what a smart dog, you sat down. Most of us talk way too much to our dogs. Dogs learn through association. So when I give a command, I say it twice. I give it as an order, Cashew, sit, sit. And then I do a second time as a reward. So I, again, scratch under the chin. Now, if her butt is here, her head's over there, I don't have to reach around like this. I can scratch her butt too, if I just want to pet her. But what I would recommend you do is everyone stops petting her completely unless she does something to earn it. So even if she doesn't nudge you, she's just nearby and you want to pet her, Cashew, sit, sit, sit. That's why I like that hand motion, because eventually I can be talking to mom and I have to put Cashew to sit with my hand motion and have two conversations at the same time without interrupting either one. Now, after a while, what will happen is
Cashew. But with you, it's automatic.
It will, but it will be for you guys too. After a while, what will happen is she's going to come and start sitting in front of you or you and saying, I'm sitting, shouldn't you be paying attention to me? And the answer is yes, as much as we can. So we reach over then and pet her, even though we didn't ask her to sit. So I call this passive training. So she doesn't come to you very well. So every time that Cashew comes to your mom should pet her and say, come, even though you didn't call her. Because the end result is still the reward. And then we hear the command word at the same time, but not good come, not what a sweet dog you are. The more words we use, the harder it is for them to understand. They key on the first sound that they hear. One of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of people that go, good dog. They say good dog when it comes, when it sits, when it lays down, when it poops, when it eats its food, when it's sleeping. It means everything, so it means nothing. So I want to just say the command word while I deliver a positive association, or we call it a positive reinforcer. It could be a treat, or it could be a tickle. Now what I like to do, Cashew, here, or come, is use them both. Come. So I'm tickling her under her chin at the same time she's getting the treat delivered. If we do that enough times, then this is the same thing as getting a treat. And hey, if every time I go to a restaurant I find a $100 bill in the lobby, I'm going to probably eat there a lot. If every time she comes to you she gets paid a little treat or affection, she's going to be more inclined to come to you in the future. This is why I don't like using a dog's name as a negative. I actually recommend to my clients, some people think it's funny, is coming up with a funny name that is your dog's naughty name. So your dog's doing something bad, you don't say Cashew, you say Rufus or Obadiah, or you come up with a weird kind of name, but the dog will associate and understand, oh, that means I did something wrong. So this way when we call the dog, it always thinks positive things. Oh, I'm going to get a reward. I'm going to get affection. I'm going to get attention. So I'm more inclined to do that. Now, petting with a purpose, like I said, I use that hand motion to put her in a sit and then scratch under the chin. If everyone in the house gets in a habit of doing this, you won't even think about it. She'll come over, or she'll just stand there, you go like this, and then start petting her. After a while, that's something you'll do without thinking, and every time you do it, it's a mini obedience training session that you do without spending any time or effort thinking about it.
Well, I saw when she came to you just now, she sat right over.
And the more you do it, that's what because now, like we talked about when I first came in, if I jump up on the humans and they pet me, that's my way of asking the humans to pet me.
So how did you call her when you wanted her to come to you? Go here?
I said, well, I asked earlier if we were going to say come or here. She said she would prefer the word come.
Come.
You can either use whatever you want. You can say
so
red.
You don't call her name, you say come.
Yes. You can say her name if you want to, but I would just prefer her to get used to coming with that command word.
With a command.
So getting back, let me wrap up the petting with a purpose. If you get in a habit of doing it, like I said, it'll take you a week or two, but then every time you pet your dog, it's a little training session without spending any time.
So don't go up to her and pet her just because.
Yeah, just you do go up to her and tell her to sit. Tell her to come, tell her to lie down. That's not asking her to
And
do
then
very
do
much.
that.
Then we
Yeah.
pet her and say the command word at the same time. This will make it easier to get her to sit when you're on a walk, or at the door for the new rule that we have there, or when trick-or-treaters are at the door, or whatever it is, because now I have more practice doing it. So this is what I like to call petting with a purpose.